Hey, what's up, good people out there on the internets? It is I, the actual King Smith, and this is the Sports Bar here at WTF Nation Radio, and an offshoot of U.S. Army WTF Moments here. I am the actual King Smith, and appearing with me over the fence here is my main man, Coach. But before we get into Coach's intro, turn the Sports Bar light on. And Coach, let the people know something.
Hey, what do you hear? What do you say, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Sports Bar, ladies and gentlemen. Sports. I love sports, don't you, King?
I love sports too. We have a sports show where we talk about sports stuff.
Oh, we have a sports show, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, when I'm dealing with sports, we also have to address the pink elephant in the room of what transpired earlier today. Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuning into the Sports Bar, where we talk about sports and nothing but sports. We do not talk about politics. We do not talk about pop culture. That's on Tuesday. We do not talk about video games. That's on Saturday. On Wednesday, we talk about sports. And that's all we're going to talk about tonight. So, if you are watching this at home, if you are checking us out, even while you're flying or driving or on a bus or doing whatever, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep everything here to sports. Regardless of what happened today, we are here to talk about sports. If you're here to talk about what happened today, you need to go to another channel. You need to go watch another show because we're here to talk about sports. If I have not made myself clear, I'm going to say it one last time. We are a sports show. We are here to talk about sports. We are not going to talk about what transpired today. And if you would like to, well, then you can see your happy little ass out of our daggone place. Bye bye. Don't need you to watch tonight. Come back next week and you can go ahead and watch another show because we will not be discussing what happening today because we have plenty much more to discuss about the world of sports. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not noticed, Angel Reese has not been playing over the past couple of weeks. I guess her team has finally realized that she is a trash player. One, nobody is watching the WNBA for her. We have football finally back, college football in full swing. The NBA is just around the corner, and they're going to be on NBC. Oh, yeah, I'm waiting for that song to come back. Round Ball Rock by John Tish. If you guys don't remember that guy, he used to be the dude who hosted Entertainment Tonight. Yeah, he also wrote Round Ball Rock, which you will be hearing and I will be watching on NBC, the NBA on NBC coming October or September, whenever it comes. But yes, we are in the middle of sports. And even the Yankees have turned it around and are going to end up depressing me next month. But hey, that's what we're here for. And you know what else we're here for too, King?
Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to yell anything about Roll Tide because you have been beaten enough. It's all right. It's all right. We're here to talk about somebody who actually won in fantasy football this week, yourself, and somebody whose big fucking mouth got him in trouble. And AJ Brown, you are absolutely killing me. Dude is the best one of the best wide receivers in the league, and he got one fucking reception. I'm just saying. Thanks for fucking me week one, AJ Brown. But as we're talking about fantasy football, we get up. We're here again talking about sports. So sorry. Glad I put that out. And if anybody's got a problem with that, well, get you on ass out of here. All right.
All right. So, sports here at the Sports Bar. That is what we are on today. I do need to acknowledge some people that are here early. So I'm gonna see if I can get this over here to the chat. Oh no, we're not showing that. Now we not showing that. Let's get over here and bring up the chat here and let's see who we have in the building. Shout out to God Happened to Me said, is it wrong for me to only care about football? Nope. Absolutely.
No.
And she said, I'll say it, Roll Tide. Mike Larson said, do you see the power all winner wants to buy? Oh, the Powerball winner that wanted to buy out Alabama's head coaching contract.
Yes.
Not sure because I don't care. Roll Tide. I had that video, but I am not gonna have time to have it displayed, and I am mad at myself for that because that video was hilarious. That lady is she looked like she could be a former neighbor of mine. I know people like her. She probably bakes a mean pecan pie too. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see who else do we have in the building here. I gotta fix my chat, and I'm not gonna be able to fix it on this stream, but I'll be able to fix it. We got Pop Culture Warrior, the undefeated CQ is in the building.
Week one, WEAK one. That's all I'm going to say about that because everybody is able to get something on week one.
I saw a really good graphic that even some of the real NFL teams, there were 5 teams that started 0-1 that made the playoffs last year, and there were several 1-0 teams that did not make the playoffs. So enjoy your little week 1 win now, CQ of Pop Culture Warrior. Because
man, you got to make those adjustments. We'll get to that later on today, but you got to make those adjustments, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, got to make those adjustments. Now, I am having a browser issue because I was going to display where we're at. Speaking of fantasy, let's go ahead and roll the update out for that. As y'all may or may not be aware, we do have a fantasy football listener league here at WTF Nation Radio. I am unable to scroll, which is unfortunate. I need to figure out why, but I can't do that live on the air. But we do have all of the winning teams up here at the top. So maybe this was the internet's way of saying only winners should be shown. But we got Turd Ferguson, Pop Culture Warrior, the Roach Father, which I love that name, Hurt So Good, Spanky's Taco Eaters, Mad Mike, who pulled out a week 1 win even after having somebody that pretty much didn't play, and Flash's Revenge all got week 1 wins. I don't think we had a sweat. Did we have a sweat or a close game?
I don't think we did. I don't think anybody in week 1 had a close game. I didn't even have a close game.
The closest margin of error came between Flash's margin of error. The closest slim victory came between T's Impressive and Flash's Revenge, in which there was a 4-point difference.
Yeah,
that was a 4-point difference.
Yeah, that one, you know what? It could have been a play away, but like I said, it's how you adjust from week 1 going into week 14, and that's how we'll go ahead and view, and that's how you actually view this. Michael Ortiz, you have already officially. Well, I'm going to say this. Every comment that is up above yours was not going to get mentioned because I already told you guys what we're doing. And by the way, I don't care about the numbers that we have. We're still going to have more fucking people watching the show than your sorry ass. But regardless of that, Michael Ortiz, Dak Prescott as an MVP might be the dumbest daggone thing I have seen in the past hour. That's all I'll say. We're really starting on a roll today, aren't we? We're already getting the numbskulls in the freaking chats right now, aren't we? Yes, if you're in the audience, you're getting it tonight.
I don't have
Prescott
my
MVP.
Coach's Rant button just yet. I have to have that fixed by next week. Have to have it fixed.
Dak Prescott MVP. Yeah. Okay. Daniel Jones had a better week from him. And Daniel Jones looks like the Down syndrome version of Peyton Manning. Okay. No, Dak Prescott MVP. Not happening. Dear God.
All right.
Oh, God. The only thing dumber that I could hear right now is you saying roll tide, King.
Roll Tide, baby.
Thank you.
All right. So getting through the sports news that we had from our favorite sports here. Out of the NCAA football, the Florida Gators, man. Is it that South Florida is that good? Or are the Gators just Gator bait and a pretend team?
USF has come along over the past decade, and they've always been one of the hotbeds now for when the NIL started coming in. Okay, you've noticed over the past 10 years when the money really started to get loose, USF's program started going on the up and up because, you know, a lot of the South Florida talent did not want to leave that area, and the U wasn't paying as well as South Florida. So do I think that they're legit? I think they're a legit bowl team. I don't think that they are legit national champions in any way, shape, or form. But USF beating Florida, I will say it's nothing that I'm not surprised about.
Hmm.
It's not. All ebbs and flows of this Florida teams. Florida teams, just because you got Florida in front of your name does not mean that you are a dynasty anymore. Regardless if you're in the SEC, ACC, AAC, whatever the heck it's called, regardless of where you are, the Florida teams don't have this invincibility anymore. And when you're playing interstate rivals right now, especially over there with USF, man, you're getting people pumped up for the same games inside in there. These are rivalry games. And you know that USF was going to come bring it, and Miami should have came bring it, and Florida should have came bring it. Florida State should be coming to bring it every single one of those matchups. But Florida, hey, look, you're great. You're in the SEC. You're a big school. Man, you ain't unbeatable anymore. USF has caught up to you.
Hey, USF have caught up to them. Other programs, which we said here in like year one when we were talking about the NIL stuff, it is going to level the playing field because tradition essentially doesn't matter anymore. The only way that tradition matters now in today's landscape are the people like Jerome Bettis, right? His son goes to play for the same alma mater that his dad played at, and you can convince Jerome Bettis' son as a pedigree to go up to Notre Dame to play versus a USC, Texas, Florida, where you've got nicer weather and things like that. Because look,
I mean, look at Marvin Harrison Jr. You know, he didn't go all the way to Syracuse up the snow in northern New York. No, he went to Ohio State and became, a national champion.
mm-hmm. So
Heck, I mean, but you know what? Let's also look at this. You know who didn't go to Florida State?
who's that?
Shador Sanders. Unlike his dad.
And see that right there also proves my point. It's gonna take more than just prestige to win a kid over. Like going on the days of you could go to an Alabama and oh man, like you've got to be, a top tier guy because you're playing for Alabama. No, you can go to a Colorado because you've got the coach that's there that is a Deion Sanders and or is also your father.
Heck, you can go to Boise State and break some daggone records too.
Mm-hmm. You can go to South Florida and not only get
beat the Gators,
and not only get paid in your pocketbooks, but also have a lot more beach scenery and things to look at while you're down there too. Read in between the lines on that.
Hey, speaking of kids going to schools, and we know about Arch Manning. We've talked about him. He's at Texas now. 1 week he's the biggest bust in college football history. Next week he's the number 1 pick in the NFL draft again. Did you see the commercial on Sunday Night Football of Peyton and his son watching the Manning Bowl, like on the introduction?
I didn't see that.
I gotta tell you, this kid is going there. If Arch Manning was a 5-star recruit, this kid's gonna be a fucking 6-star. I kid you not, man. I kid you not. He's 15 and he already looks like he's about to drive and go get the rest of the football team beer. I kid you not, man. And you got to think about this. His father and his uncle, I've been teaching him, just like Arch. I'm just saying, take a look at Peyton Manning's kid, man, in about 3 years from now, it is going to be more ridiculous than what it's going to be Arch and Shador combined into one.
Man, before my call today, I had somebody who's a viewer, and him and I were chatting, and he said that Shador Sanders should be starting for the Cleveland Browns, and if he would have started, they would have beat the Bengals in week 1. And you did about what I did, and he said it with his chest, coach. He said it with his chest. I said, yo, you should come on live and put that in the chat, because that is hilarious. I didn't know you were a comedy writer.
Yeah, that's all right. I have heard the overreactions from a lot of people after week one in the NFL season. Like I'm hearing that Jackson Dart should be starting as the quarterback for the Giants because Russell Wilson is gone. All right, and completely and forget famous Jameis. Famous Jameis. I heard. Even though this isn't an overreaction, the Jets did release Xavier Gibson, their receiver and kick returner who fumbled and screwed up the game for them. So that's not really an overreaction after week one. But hearing somebody say that Flacco is a worse quarterback than Shador Sanders, man, oh man, oh man. One game in the NFL, and you're telling me that Shador Sanders, and don't give me the talent thing. This game, the way the game is played, is much faster exponentially from college to the pros. It is unbelievably rare where you're going to have a rookie quarterback start like Cam Newton did. And I will say this, Cam Newton broke the mold in rookie quarterbacks. Cam Newton was also 6'5" and 250 fucking pounds. Okay, mobile, not like Peyton Manning statue 6'5", 250. He was a brick shithouse. And you also remember he rushed a shit ton in his rookie year. So I'm going to say that Cam Newton is not like Shador Sanders. Cam Newton is better than Shador Sanders was right now. You can't make that comparison to these other rookie quarterbacks. You want to tell me that Caleb Williams, the guy who was the number one pick last year and thrown to the fucking wolves as the Bears quarterback, didn't have the same opportunity and had the same talent that Shador Sanders has? Look what happened to Caleb, number one pick. Everybody thought he was the number one pick after his sophomore season. Now they're talking about him being a bust, all because he went to the Bears. Okay? Look at Bryce Young. Bryce Young was supposed to be another phenomenal quarterback that they ended up starting week one. And look what happened. Now, granted, CJ Stroud, great that he's doing that, but we've been over this before multiple times on this show. Quarterbacks need to develop. There are more Zach Wilsons and Sam Darnolds than there are Peyton Mannings, Cam Newtons, and I'm trying to think about other ones who started. I'll give you one thing. Peyton Manning was 3-13 when he was a rookie and actually has the interception in a single season record because he threw so many interceptions on his first one.
People forget that.
First season. People absolutely forget that. And look, you want to go ahead and start Mark Sanchez. Hey, Mark Sanchez. First two seasons that he was in made it to the AFC Championship game. Now he's remembered for having his ass put into his face and was ran out of the league after 4 years. All right? Don't give me that. You want Shador Sanders to be a star? He does not play one down this season. Jackson Dart needs to be the quarterback that's going to lead the Giants back to the Super Bowl. Jackson Dart doesn't get one start this season. You know who actually did something pretty smart with that one? And let me bring this up to Nick Sirianni. I am going to praise him, and this has to do with the Giants. The Giants got upset because the Eagles decided to start Jalen Hurts on the last game of the season so that, if they lost, the Giants didn't get into the playoffs. Well, boo fucking who. But guess what? Jalen Hurts sat the entire season and was used sporadically. Now, several years later, Jalen Hurts is the Super Bowl MVP. Was sitting down there with the cigar, the Lombardi Trophy, and his Jordan 1 cleats, which fucking looked great. Or actually, there were 11 cleats. And guess what? He's now 1-0 and the toast of the NFL. Don't rush the development. Don't. Shador Sanders is definitely not going to be. And if Shador Sanders is the answer, he might win you 1 or 2 games, but he will lose you 14. Plain and simple. Plain and simple.
He said it with his whole chest. I like it. Damn. I like it.
I told you, man, I'm in a rare mood today. It had nothing to do with sports, and it had to do it actually happened before the pink elephant. I was in a rare mood waking up this morning. I'm going to be in a rare mood for the rest of the day.
Man, I'm going to leave the chat up here. We don't have any other chats to highlight. I did have something that said that my voice was a little bit low. I believe I've adjusted that. So those of y'all in the chat, let me know how my audio is
Do you
sounding
want to bring
now.
up Moose's comment?
Go ahead.
Musa was wondering about how do we feel about the U.S. hosting the Soccer Football World Cup in 2026. I feel outstanding about it. I'm glad that we're hosting the World Cup. The opening match will be in Mexico, if I'm correct. They're playing some of the matches over in Canada, but they're going to be played all around the United States. If you have the opportunity to go to the World Cup, don't pass it by. Go. 1994, I went to Giant Stadium to go watch a World Cup game. I still remember going to that game. It was Ecuador and Bolivia or something like that. I think it was Bolivia, but it was a good game. And you know what? Just being in an electric crowd with a whole bunch of different people playing something on a competitive match and just being in that crowd, man, it's an experience I will never forget. I also saw my first ever 100-foot flag that went all the way from the top of the lower bowl in Giant Stadium across 5 sections and then down all the way to the field. It was fucking huge. I don't know how the hell they brought that in there, but soccer, fans, they're crazy enough as it is. So it's going to be great. You get a chance to go, take it. Go. It's going to be a once in a lifetime thing, much like the 2028 Olympics. They're in Los Angeles. If we can get press passes, I'd go in a heartbeat.
Yeah, so I'm glad that you said that. Yeah, if we could get press passes, that would be dope. So thanks for that comment. And I'm looking at it now. So I have up on the screen here the list of the cities that they're going to be playing in. This is going to be the first time in history that the tournament is going to be divided among 3 countries. The countries are Canada, Mexico, and the U.S., like Coach said earlier, with the final being at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey.
You fucking Jersey, my home, baby.
July.
I would go to that final in a heartbeat.
Man, absolutely. So we've got the list here. You've got Philadelphia, Boston, Miami, Atlanta, Kansas City, Dallas, Houston, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Seattle. Those are the U.S. Cities that I had.
I wish they would come to Baltimore. Where are they playing in D.C.? Does it say where they're playing in D.C.?
I don't see D.C. on here.
Oh, D.C.'s not even in there.
Nope.
Oh, damn. I thought you said D.C. So the closest to you is going to be Philly.
The closest to me would be Philadelphia. Yep. So if I could get some press passes, I actually just might pull up. So station manager, make that happen. Figure this out.
Station manager, 2026 World Cup. Let's get going on that one.
No doubt.
Hey, should I put that in the new webpage that we just went over today?
Yes. Block it out, baby.
Request for action. I will do that right now.
Get us there. Let's see. God Happened to Me said, if y'all get passes, I feel like spouses should be invited too. Nice. Hey, that would be dope. And
Mrs. Coach would not want to go. I'll just say that right now. There will be an open ticket. Mrs. Coach would definitely not want to go.
Why is that?
Mrs. Coach is not a big sports fan. She's not a big crowd person.
Gotcha.
Let's just say this. So we've gone to several things. In fact, I've gone here's the last time she went to a real big sporting event with me. The last time we went was in 2018. We were invited by Brad Keselowski over to the Bank of America 500 over in Charlotte. And where we sat was in not a private booth, but we had a private area where we were able to, go around and eat, but we had regular seats. And my wife reclined to be said that she could not go to another place unless they have like indoor, like unless we're in like some private area or we have air conditioning out there, because it's way too daggone hot for her to go around. And she is now spoiled by, all of the VIP things that I have been able to bring her to.
Hey, man, I
So
get it.
yeah, my
I
wife
get
is
it.
definitely not going to be standing in a freaking arena or a football stadium of 80,000 Mexicans versus Americans, and ole 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 goal. She's gonna hate that freaking thing. She would absolutely hate it.
Hey, I get it, man. The first time I went to a suite, I was given tickets to go to a Atlanta Falcons game. Shout out to, it was a Air Force veteran pilot who said, "Hey, man, I see that you're in town. I got these 2 tickets to a Falcons game. They're suite tickets. They're yours if you want them." And I offered. I said, "Hey, how much?" He said, "Oh, man, don't worry about that." I was like, "Oh, hell yeah!" Once you experience stuff in like a suite or some type of
Yeah.
luxury VIP experience, it's hard for you to
Oh,
go to the regular peasant seats.
you're damn right it is.
It's
And that's
difficult,
what my
man.
wife has, man. That's what my wife does. She that's her exact thing. It's hard for her to go down to it.
Yep,
She doesn't want to make sure she wants to make sure that she's having the best of the times and not just be there for the game.
exactly.
By the way, shout out to Titties in the chat. Titties is back. Yeah, Titties.
TT, yeah. We see you. Since we don't know how to pronounce your name properly, you get TTs.
TT.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to a football game this coming Sunday. I got tickets through VetTix. Is it .org or .com? Let me look this up.
I think it's .org. I
Vet-
think they're an org.
Yep.
Yeah, because they're a donation. Yeah.
VetTix.org. Y'all, I'm telling you, if you're watching our program, and chances are you are veteran or veteran military affiliated, somewhere around that, if you qualify, go to vettix.org. This is not a sponsorship thing. I'm just telling you something that I utilize. I was able to put in for their lottery for some of the events. They do like a lottery system. And I got tickets for the Baltimore versus Cleveland game that's being played this Sunday. So be sure to check out the Sports Bar at WTF Nation Radio's Facebook page, as well as the WTF Nation Radio and U.S. Army WTF Moments page, because I will be filming the event, and Mrs. Sports Bar is coming along with me. So I would like to thank VetTix and the various sponsors that donate tickets to VetTix for the ability for me to attend that game on somebody else's dime.
VetTix is God. They had tickets to, actually. You know what? I've been getting a lot of the football ones up in my area. I've been getting some UNC tickets. Not only Chapel Hill, but UNC Charlotte. I've seen a lot of seen actually South Carolina game too, because I also have Columbia in my zone, and also the Hampton Roads area. The ODU seems to have a heck of a lot of games happening over there too. So it's a great way for you guys to get some good tickets that go out to the community. Check out a show. Heck, if any of you all are in Raleigh or yeah, I don't actually. I think it's tomorrow. No, never mind. It's Raleigh tonight. Adam Sandler's playing tonight over in Raleigh. You could go out there. But I think, yeah, pretty good stuff out there, man. I love VetTix. I wish they'd sponsor us too. VetTix, come sponsor us.
I need you to fill in some time for about 1 minute, Coach, while I pull
All right.
up our next things. I need exactly 60 seconds.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we come to you live 6 nights a week on U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio across Facebook, YouTube, and X. We also have a Discord server, and pretty soon we might actually have a little bit of a feature to make this show a little bit more interactive. Stay tuned for that, because we're always trying to make it more impressive for you here on U.S. Army WTF Moments and the WTF Nation Radio. Now, tomorrow we will there will not be a show tomorrow, but let me bring that up that at 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Mountain, 8 o'clock Pacific, the Smoke Pit with Radar will be on. So stay tuned after our show, and we will be getting the Smoke Pit up here for you. And I'll have another show out here on US Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio. Tomorrow, there will not be a show. Ice is under the weather, so there will not be a Sergeant's Time tomorrow. On Friday, we will have CQ. King, are you going to be there for FTX?
Yes, I'm going to be at FTX Friday.
So you'll be at FTX Friday. CQ and King will be, and a whole slew of other WTF Nation Radio hosts will be coming up on Friday for FTX. Nemo will be going with Weekend Co-ops. You can join him here as well as on the Discord server. Our Discord server is somewhere on our Facebook page, so you might as well take a look at that link. And then we'll bring it back on Monday for the Monday edition. Hopefully Ice is recovered by then. And then, we'll have him back on Monday. And then Tuesdays. Yes, yesterday you saw Mad Mike and CQ on Pop Culture Warrior, and they'll be back next Tuesday on that same exact show. You also see him somewhere in the chants, but if he's still there, blah, 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 blah. Hey, CQ, got something for you. You missing one this thing? All right.
Yo,
ladies and gentlemen.
Violation. Man, I got to clip that and send it to him. Thanks for that 60-second field, Coach. Gotcha, and buddy. That knocked out our marketing. Oh, don't forget about the new show, The King and Me Show.
Oh, I forgot. Well, that's your own show. I mean, yeah. I forgot about you on Monday. My bad.
Yep, we are in partnership. Y'all get to see this lovely face twice because the King and Me Show is a show that myself and God Happened Me, who is in the chat now. Thank you for being there, baby. Her and I do that show where we talk about dating, relationships, and things like that. We've got some programming coming specifically for the WTF Nation Radio viewers. So we would like to thank WTF Nation Radio for allowing us to bring our show on their platform. That is Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone, right before Ice and the Monday edition.
Hey, you know what? We got to bring Michelle here. She's got to start attending our staff meetings. I mean, she is a co-host.
Oh, she would send me as her representative for sure. For sure.
Bullshit. If I've got to be there, she's got to be there.
All right. I've got a couple of quick notes to cover here. Some are going to be some sports news updates, and I have to apologize, y'all. There's a technical issue that's preventing me from displaying it the way that I'd want to. So we're just going to be a discussion here. So the first thing that I'm going to bring up here, last week there was an accident that killed two Marquette University lacrosse players, and the driver, who was a Wisconsin driver that was cited at the crash, was drunk at the time. So as of today, they are charging her with vehicular homicide. The driver, whose name is Amandrea Bruner, age 41, faces 2 counts of homicide by an intoxicated use of a vehicle while having a prior intoxicant-related conviction. She faces up to 80 years in prison if convicted on both accounts. According to a criminal complaint, the crash happened on a Friday in Milwaukee when Bruner tried to turn left in front of an SUV that was taking 6 Marquette men's lacrosse players to a thrift store. The 2 victims that passed away were named Scott Michaud, a 19-year-old sophomore goalie and biomedical science major from Springboro, Ohio, and 20-year-old Noah Snyder, a sophomore attackman and business student hailing from Irvine, New York, and they were both pronounced dead at the scene. A witness told police that she helped Bruner out of her pickup and noticed that Bruner reeked of alcohol and kept trying to put gum in her mouth. Police also found an open beer can in her truck, according to a criminal complaint. To wrap this story up, Bruner's blood, which was drawn about 2 hours after the crash, had a blood alcohol content of 0.133, which exceeds the state's legal limit to drive at 0.08. Rest in peace to those lacrosse players. there are two things that I can't stand in this world, and one of them is a drunk driver. So, y'all, when you're out there, be safe on the roads. It doesn't matter if it's daytime or nighttime. I have personally witnessed a vehicle crash that had occurred in which at 1 o'clock it was a Tuesday morning, somebody T-boned a guy, and it turns out it wasn't distracted driving, it was a drunk driver.
Um, my family's got a lot of things that we've struggles with alcohol. Actually, I didn't even realize I don't even celebrate the day anymore. I used to, but I have 8 years no alcohol, 8 years sober.
Hey.
Right? And I've had a lot of things, a lot of bad shit happen with alcohol. I've actually also lost some good friends of mine because of alcohol. I'm going to say that alcohol is one of the silent killers with depression. And never mind, I didn't want to get preachy on this, but yes, ladies and gentlemen, alcohol has absolutely zero use, especially while you're using the machine. Okay. Now, I'm not going to say that I am a fucking saint. All right. I'm pretty sure that doing this while driving is also illegal, but ladies and gentlemen, sorry. But yeah, I've done that before. I will just say that please don't do it. It's not worth it. And well, shoot, even the active duty people that are in, you keep hearing all the crap about the DUIs and call the sergeant major. I'll come pick you up if you had too much to drink. You know how the mouth breather always said that at the safety meeting. But even while you guys are out, call up a friend, call up a taxi, call up an Uber, call somebody. Don't call the Undertaker. All right.
No doubt. Now let's see. Next quick hit story here. Let me move that off. We have a follow-up to last week. So last week, before we did our fantasy football draft, we talked about a shooting that had occurred against Florida State's linebacker Ethan Pritchard. Well, 4 people have been arrested in connection with that shooting. Pritchard, who was not doing anything wrong, who was simply dropping off a family member, was grazed in the back of the head and shot just outside of a city in Florida. Let's see here. Gaston County Sheriff Morris Young said authorities believe that Pritchard's shooting was a case of mistaken identity. Jaden Bodison, Karan Miller, Germany Atkins, and an unnamed minor have been arrested in connection with the shooting. Miller and the juvenile were charged with 3 counts of attempted murder and 1 count of shooting into an occupied vehicle. Atkins was charged with 1 count of probation violation, and it was not clear if any of the accused had an attorney. Wow. So, I'm hearing different sources on this because one source said that it was a targeted thing, and you have this other source that's saying that it's mistaken identity. It doesn't matter really what the reason was. I can't think of a reason that would make you go, you know what? I'm a skitty pop this person today. And it's senseless.
It is.
In this case, he survived. The people that were guilty. The people that were accused of doing it have been caught, and they're going to run through the justice system.
Sorry. When you said mistaken identity, yeah, I know this is terrible that we're talking about a shooting. Thank goodness he survived. But when we were talking about this, when you said mistaken identity, it actually made me think about the barbershop scene in Coming to America.
Ah, yes.
Martin Luther King came up, punched me right in the middle of the chest, and said, "Oops, I thought you were somebody else."
Top 5
sorry.
movie. That is my 3rd favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, sorry. That was definitely not what I should have said. That was definitely
my favorite movie of all time is
The
The Last Dragon. Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon. I've probably seen that movie over 1,000 times. Know it line by line. All right, let's
Who's the greatest
see.
boxer that
That
ever lived?
that is our
King. Who's
what'd
the
you say?
greatest boxer who ever lived?
The greatest boxer who ever lived.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Ali.
You must be out your goddamn mind. Joe Louis is the greatest boxer that ever lived. Better than Clay. Better than that Mike Tyson guy. Looked like a bulldog. Yo.
I
What
knew.
about Rocky Marciano?
Marciano.
Oh, there you go.
Always wanna
Anytime
talk
a white
about-
guy got to bring up boxing, he got to
Gotta
bring
bring
up
up
Marciano.
Marciano.
That's their one. Well, you know what? Let me tell you something. Compared to Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano ain't shit. Beat Joe Louis's ass. That's right. He beat Joe Louis's ass. Joe Louis was Marciano. I swear to God, he was 71 years old. You know, one time Frank Sinatra came in here, sat right down. I asked Frank, "Hey, Frank, you know Joe Louis. How old is Joe Louis?" You know what Frank told me? Frank said, "Between you and me, Joe Louis is 147 years old." Okay. Man, you ain't never meet no Sinatra. Fuck you, and fuck you. Who's next?
Hey, that was good,
makes
man.
anybody laugh.
That was good.
That line makes everybody laugh, man. That is the greatest. That is one of the greatest sequences in movies ever.
Man.
Might be one of the funniest things in movies ever.
Brilliant. I wish we could play that clip and not get copyright stricken.
Hold on. Hey, wait a minute. TT, you're the guy, right? Isn't TT the guy who does all the things?
Man, don't have me tell lies. We got so many new
TT,
people.
clip that part. Clip the part with Joe Louis. See if we can do that.
Where was that at? That was about the 45-minute mark.
46-minute mark.
Okay. We've got 2 congratulations about your sobriety, man. We got TT said, congratulations to you, coach.
Thank you.
And God Happened to Me said, I'm 8.5 years myself. Congratulations.
Congrats to you too, Michelle.
I also won't publicly say where I started, but due to some medical things, I might be having a long time as well. And if you follow my personal vlogs and stuff out there, you'll find out why tomorrow. But yeah. Ooh, let me turn that down. Let's see. That's all of our quick hit news stories. Before we get into baseball, which is what we're going to close out the show. We're going to close out the show with baseball today. I do have this up here. So let's talk about Tyreek Hill. So let's get this off of the screen. Where's the chat at here? Let's get this off of the screen. Let's put this up. Tyreek Hill, man, not only did the Dolphins get just swacked in week 1, and you hear I don't understand how Mike Daniels is a head coach. It's like he lost a bet to somebody, and it was like, you know what? If I win this bet, you got to make me the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. Because I don't see this guy as a leader of men. I think he could be great at what he does with schemes and offenses and things like that. But as a head coach, when I see him talk on the podium, I scratch my head. Like Coach Tomlin. The way people talk about Coach Tomlin, it's like Coach Tomlin can get a grown man to run through a wall as a coach. Yeah. I don't get that same vibe from Coach.
No.
From the head coach out of the Dolphins.
No, he looks like the kind of guy that would sit in the cuck chair at a hotel while his wife's getting banged.
Dang.
Okay, that's it. What? That's what he looks like.
Dang.
Look at him. I mean, I'm just saying, he looks exactly like that. This guy, what the hell's his name? McDaniel, right? Mike McDaniel.
Yep,
right?
Mike McDaniel. I jacked up his name. Yeah, Mike
2 or
McDaniel.
3 years ago, when Tua turned the ball over, and he was still a little bit of the Bama Tua. And when they got Tyreek and everything was all fresh and new, he was the young hot coach. But he didn't, and this is where it gets me, is that all of these coaches who have this buddy relationship with their team outside of Pete Carroll, but Pete Carroll had also been doing it now for 30 years, has never had any success outside of their first 2 seasons. I'll give you Rex Ryan, Robert Saleh, one of the Giants coaches. I can't remember which one. It might have been the one with the good hair. And Mike McDaniel's the same exact thing. He was, he was the young guy, got to be friends with him, talk to him on the level, and everybody's playing loose and everything. But now everything is completely undisciplined. You have everybody's caught up to you. You haven't made any type of adjustments. Tua is taking steps back. Tyreek has taken steps back on the field and off the field. Unless you're getting him the ball on every single reception and you wildcat it to him, he's not going to carry the team. The explosivity that you had with the receivers have gone down just over natural time, and the quarterbacks have caught back up. The personnel you have on the team right now are not responding to you because they think they can get away with everything. They have gotten away with everything over 2 or 3 years, and you haven't done anything about policing up their bad habits. Okay, and if you don't think that I'm being serious about policing up the bad habits, I'll give you one right now. I just gave you that last one about Robert Saleh and the New York Jets. The New York Jets last season, off the ball penalties led the league. That's offsides, false starts, encroachment, etc., etc. What killed the Jets and turnovers as well. What killed the Jets on Sunday, which is something that Aaron Glenn is trying to get rid of right now and being disciplinarian in, was those off the ball penalties as well as the turnovers. They went down from their average of 5 off the ball penalties to just having 2 on Sunday, which is a decent step forward, but it's not the great step forward that they need. And they did still have a turnover, but that player is now no longer on the team. So, Mike McDaniel, you might last the entire season because I think Miami is smart enough to not change coaches mid. You're on the hot seat. Your seat is going to be fire red by week 6. You are going to be burnt by week 12. And everybody is going to be talking about who is replacing you by week 14. And you have Tua turn, and Tua has to make some. Tua needs to go ahead and find the fountain of youth, the road to Mordor, the enlightenment phase, praise to God, Allah, and Buddha all at the same time, so that he turns back into Tua Tagovailoa instead of Tua turn the ball over. Because he's been hit way too many times in the head, and let's just say it is catching up. It has caught up. He is not the same quarterback, and he will never be the same quarterback.
Man, before I get into Tyreek Hill, I saw a video in which a reporter was talking about the turnovers, and they used the words constant turnovers and or stream of turnovers or some vernacular of terms like that. And Tyreek Hill started talking, but you could see on his face that he was kind of flustered. So then he stopped it. He goes, "Man, like cluster turnovers, like that's crazy." And then he just was like, "That's crazy." And you could tell that it kind of got to him. And all I could do was just laugh. I like Tua. I like him as a person. I haven't heard a lot of bad things about him. I think that
Unfortunately he's been hit in the head too many damn times.
I think that he needs a better set of circumstances around him. But I'm just not seeing it continue with him as well. I'm not seeing it, and I'm not judging it off of one game. When you look at because he has flashes of brilliance. I mean, he is a starting NFL quarterback for a reason. I'm not discrediting that, but he can't.
I get it. Hey,
he
now
can't keep getting hit like that.
Can I say this? Because as a Jets fan, it has actually made me happy that Miami is most likely going to be worse than the Jets this year. And it's a 50-50 with the Patriots, even though I don't think the Patriots will do good, even though what's his name, the one you drafted, did decent.
Drake May.
Did decent. Drake May, not Drew Lock. Who's Drew Lock on? Drew Lock was on Broncos, right?
Yep, but I
He
think he's
was,
with a
and then
different
now
team
Bo
now.
Nix is on there. Now he's on another
Yeah.
one. So, I do want to talk a little bit about the Jets, if you don't mind, because I want to bring up something that I did just kind of thought about as far as success in the NFL.
What point are you going to bring? Because it would be kind of a branch to go away and then come back to the Dolphins and Tyreek Hill.
Well, you know what? No, go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead. Let's finish up everything with Tyreek. Yeah.
All right. So Tyreek Hill, we did talk about on our show with kind of the earlier rumblings as things were going with him, because it's like Tyreek Hill has always been in the news for something just bad. Well, the latest legal proceedings that he's been hit with is a divorce from his now estranged wife, Keita, and in those divorce documents, right? These are paperwork that, unless you're very special, can be searchable and is public. She highlighted 8 separate incidents of domestic violence across their 17-month marriage. I want y'all to hear this. 8 separate incidents across their 17 months. Okay? And this is somebody who had already had a previous domestic assault conviction, which, based on that and the NFL's personal conduct policy, could weigh into the fact that things could escalate if any of these allegations are substantiated. Now, on one hand, I'm going to say this, and man, I hope I don't catch flack for this one. Keita, you picked him knowing who he was. Tyreek, you've got to do better about who you allow to throw that thing in a circle on you. Because 17 months, a kid or two, and she's walking away with cash and prizes. Quite simply, 17 months to get what she's requesting out of this divorce deal is going to be insane. Absolutely crazy. I wish I could get with somebody for a year and a half and then walk away with that with cash and prizes. Now, couple that with what happened in week 1, in which Tyreek Hill managed just 4 receptions for 40 yards. He was visibly frustrated on the sideline. He used to be a captain, but for the start of this season, was not named a captain. And when asked about it, he responded by saying, "I don't need a title to lead." But that in itself speaks volumes as to the things you're doing off the field and why management and the team, who has a name like Tyreek Hill, can't give him that C because of the perception of the things that he's getting involved in. And at 31, it's not like he's got his best playing days ahead of him. So with everything that's going on with the legal stuff, these allegations that are coming out, that I don't get Keita's reasoning for wanting to put it out there unless it's a money grab, which is what Tyreek Hill's attorneys are alleging. Because by impacting his ability to play, she's essentially impacting her own pockets and their children's pockets as well, which is something that just blows my mind when you want to hurt somebody that bad that you hurt their pocketbooks and you don't gain, it hurts you more in the process. I'll never get that. Now, what he's accused of, tragic. I'm going to say very publicly, I think that there is some truth to the allegations that he's being accused of. Not to the full extent, but I'm not going to sit here and hear those allegations, know of the things that he's been, that has been proven in the past, and say that he's completely innocent. But that's my very public take on that.
I don't disagree with you. I will mention that Tyreek Hill is also a lightning rod. So if Tyreek is the one who we've seen this a lot, you can probably also realize that there's probably 2 to 3 times more that we're not hearing. The usual thing that happens with news, and especially with some types of things like that. So domestic violence is never an answer. And pretty soon, the off the field stuff is going to catch up with him. And he is going to be another A.J. Brown. Okay. And this time, O.J. Simpson won't be tweeting about him, so I don't have to get blocked.
Coach, you did have something that you wanted to say about your Jets, but we got to bring this up too, and I totally forgot about it. The Jalen Carter,
right.
Dak Prescott incident.
Please,
What's your
let's
take
do
on
it.
it?
Let's do it. Okay. All right. Look, it did not affect them in the end. Thank fucking God for that. But I was disgusted that he spat on him. I could understand the heat of the moment for what was happening. And I don't know. I heard that Dak may have spat on him or something like that. But you know what? It is what it is. The guy spat on him, kicked out of the game. And apparently that was a 1-game suspension because he was gone for the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the NFL is considering that a 1-game suspension for him. So, okay, not a problem with that. I mean, Dak, you got spat on, and it didn't make you angry enough to score a touchdown in the second quarter or the second half.
Dang, Coach.
I mean, look, I know Jalen and Saquon ran the ball all over your defense because your owner was too freaking stupid to trade the best daggone defensive lineman that he has to the daggone Packers. But if you want to be an MVP, like that schmuck up there in the beginning of the show said that you should be in the MVP debate, then you know what? You need to carry that team on your back, even if you are in, and especially if you're in enemy territory, and win that game and will your team to win it. Pick that team up on your back and do it. That's what MVPs do. That's what winners do. That's unfortunately what Dallas Cowboys don't do. Okay? And I brought up Jalen Hurts and Saquon to bring up kind of the new way that I'm seeing the NFL run. So let's just within the first week, I'm not sure if you noticed this, man, but rushing yards were way up along a run of running backs. There were a lot of rushing yards.
Yeah, I like to see that.
There was a lot of rushes from the quarterbacks too.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and this is where I bring up the Jet game. I am actually kind of happy with Justin Fields as the quarterback. I never thought I would be. But the combination of Justin Fields, his mobility, and some designed runs for him, and Breece Hall, man, the Jets scored 32 points. I don't remember the last time the Jets scored more than 13 points with Zach Wilson. Okay, 32 points, and yeah, they should have, you know, if they kicked the extra points, they would have been in a tie game instead of losing by 2 to Pittsburgh. But that was a good week 1, and that was a good offense. And I'm looking at the quarterbacks, the mobile quarterback who can run, and the running back who can run like the wind has now become the new standard for the dominant offenses and the dominant teams in the NFL. You look at, and I'm going to say this right now, Baltimore, you should have won the game. That is on coaching. That had nothing to do with Lamar Jackson or Derrick Henry.
Really?
Philadelphia
Derrick
won the Super
Henry.
Bowl.
Mm.
Oh, and I got a stat for you here at the end of it if we want to when we shut down about Derrick Henry.
Okay.
Because that was my ending point on this one, but I'll give it to you at the end. So we're looking at all of these, you know, these great teams. They've got a Kansas City when they had Pacheco there too, especially. You have a good running back. A running back who can also catch passes out of the backfield, but you also have a bruising, fast running back, and you have a mobile quarterback who's running the play. Man, it's almost like you remember when you possess the clock and you keep running it up the gut and you grind them that, you know, the defenses wear down and you can end up winning in the second half pretty well. I'm glad it's starting to come to that. There was way too much spread offense, but I will also mention that that had to do with the caliber of quarterbacks that they had. There was too much spread offense when Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, and Drew Brees were all playing. Now you still have guys like Stafford. You still have a couple of them who are just straight pocket passers, but now they're becoming a little bit less in the league. You're now starting to, with the success of Patrick Mahomes, they ended up having the mobile quarterback has now been the winners. Okay. They've been the ones that have been winning it. When Tom Brady retired, and Stafford last won that one, you are now seeing that the mobile quarterback is going to be the dominant one. So that combination of a dominant running back and a good to great running quarterback is the new way the NFL is going to be going.
I agree.
And I like it.
I agree.
Like
Same.
it a lot.
Same. Yep. I like that ground and pound style of football. I've always loved it. Line up and made the best person win.
And I was going to say, you were a running back in high school, in college, man. You got to love the running backs are finally getting some better cred coming back, man.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Now, I still got the Jets logo up. Did you have any additional things to go
no,
in
not
with that?
No. All right, look, the Jets. I don't even know who the hell they're playing in week 2 because I know the Jets are going to end up winning week 2. That's how confident I am. I don't know who the hell they're playing, but I think the Jets are going to win week 2 because they're doing pretty damn well. I like the way Aaron Glenn's playing with them, and look, it doesn't bother me that that fucking Aaron Rodgers beat the Jets. It doesn't bother me whatsoever. Aaron Rodgers on the Jets is kind of like Stephon Marbury on the Knicks. I didn't freaking care that he was on the Knicks. It's kind of like A-Rod on the Yankees. All right, I'll just say that. Aaron Rodgers was supposed to be there, and then within 5 snaps, he just made me realize that why I hate being a Jet fan. So I don't care that Aaron Rodgers beat them. But the Jets, it's look at this season than it did last season, and not as optimistic as it was 2 seasons ago, but this is the most optimistic I've been after week 1 in a very long time as a Jet fan.
Man, I was gonna make a bet against you, but I want to hold off on a bet. They're playing Buffalo at home, so it is gonna be up in Jersey. But
hey, look, I'm just saying, Mrs. Hawkeye or Mr. Hawkeye, whatever, Hawkeye's husband, he might have a bad game. Just saying.
So I like that you really like your team this year. They're playing my team, the Ravens. What say you on some type of friendly wager where loser has to wear the other team's shirt on a live stream? Something.
Okay, yeah, easy. I'll definitely do that.
No,
definitely do that.
You got to do a hat. You got to wear a hat, and I got to wear a shirt. I totally butched that up. You got to wear a hat, and I got to wear a shirt.
All right. That's fine with me.
Yes.
Fine with me.
All right. So let's close out the show on some baseball news, and to do that here, we're going to start with the video, and I don't know if this video is going to play properly, but let's see. All right, here we go. Coach, you are not going to be able to be seen. But I'm going to run the video back. So let me do this. Let me restart it.
You want me to give you a great stat? This is my thing that I was going to bring up, or do you want me to wait for after the video?
Wait for after the video.
I got you. Got you, buddy.
All right, let's see here, because I got to make some changes on the fly. Again, got to fix some stuff, and then boom. Okay, there we go. So check out this video. This was a first pitch that was thrown out by a military veteran, and this was sent to us by a viewer. And when I saw it, I cracked up laughing. But watch what he does. The first pitch was bad, but it was at a Washington Nationals game, and he was doing the the bear crawl, and then you pull the pin from the grenade, and then you do the overhand toss. I am not an Army veteran. I am an Air Force veteran, and we did not have to do grenade tosses. But Coach, you're familiar with that. So tell me.
Bear crawl, that was a low crawl.
Okay.
And
See, I
yes,
don't know the terms.
removing the pin and then throwing the grenade, that was actually really nice. I did kind of like the way he did that. That was kind of cute doing it. I will say though, as a guy, all right, I played baseball in high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and I will also tell you that if you knew my last name, and if anybody here knew my name and kind of Googled my name, you'd also see some stuff about my two brothers that were pitchers in college. Both of them were drafted in minors, but did not go. They just pursued college and, went into other careers afterwards. But we've got pretty decent arms. All right. So we were at the, where was we were doing the practice hand grenades over at basic training, and I'm in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. When I ended up doing that, I kid you not, we ended up having like, I freaking threw it so hard, it hit the other barracks across the quad. So yeah, that was kind of a fun thing to do because they're like, hey, you got to throw it this way, like you're throwing a baseball, or not like you're throwing a baseball. And I just went back, boom, launched it, and that ball, or that practice grenade, hit the door on the barracks across the quad. Now, I mentioned that to say that the berm or whatever the range was that had the that the grenades were on, I was told that I hit the back berm. Okay. So I kind of like that one, and if I were to do something like that on the for a first pitch, I'd love to do it. It would be my honor. This dude did it great. I'd be a copycat of that one. I would do it. I love it. Great first pitch.
Check the chat real quick because I can't say this publicly.
Which chat?
Check the chat for Video Ninja.
Oh shit!
I don't know if
I don't have a chat. I don't have a chat on here. Oh wait, no, yeah, I do.
It just popped up.
Yeah, that is.
Yo, the face? Because I saw that, it was like, that has to be one of them. One
holds a national record as well as a New Jersey state record.
I see. Yeah, I see the whole history.
21 in a 7-inning game. Yeah.
Y'all's face. This is like you, but younger. That's wild. My bad. That's a whole tangent. So that first pitch right there, y'all. Army veteran. Peep the technique. How's his technique? Like, is the technique the way that it needs to be, Coach?
I mean, for throwing a grenade, yes. But as far as, throwing a baseball, I mean.
Oh, yeah. The pitch was bad. Different from
the pitch was bad, but doing it that way, hey, man, you did it great, and I got no problem with you doing it.
I did not see him mouth the words frag out. Aren't you supposed to say frag out? Frag out.
No.
That's what they do in the movies, Coach. Frag out.
Yeah, and you know what? In the movies, the Air Force is actually cool. Okay, we know that things that happen in the movies are definitely not what happens in real life.
They also say it in Call of Duty as well.
Yeah, no.
Pop Culture Warrior had corrected me and said low crawl, not the bear crawl. Hey,
that's what I said. Yeah,
no.
Exactly.
You corrected me, Coach, and Pop Culture Warrior did as well. Well, you know what? Hey, I mean, in sports it's a bear crawl. I'm just saying. All right, let's see. We have one more baseball related thing before we get into the Karen news. So let's bring that up here.
Oh, yes, I forgot. We got Karen.
Yep. But before we get to her, we got one more thing to highlight, as this person, based off of their career, is well deserved. I got to take this off. I got to put this up. Anthony Rizzo.
Yes.
Why you say it like that, Coach?
Because he's a former Yankee, and I feel bad that he had to retire.
Give this man his flowers. Anthony Rizzo, born August 8th, 1989, from Parkland, Florida, drafted by the Boston Red Sox in the 6th round of the 2007 MLB draft. Straight out of high school, he was that good. Over his career, he was traded to the San Diego Padres in 2010 as part of the Adrian Gonzalez deal, then to the Chicago Cubs in 2012. Throughout his career with the Cubs from 2012 to 2021, he became the face of the franchise during their major rebuild era. Part of that included 3 All-Star appearances from 2014 to 2016. He helped lead the Cubs to their historic 2016 World Championship Series, and the first in 108 years. He is a 4-time Golden Glove Award and he's a one-time Silver Slugger Award. Acquired from the Cubs, he went to the New York Yankees in 2021 and re-signed a multi-year deal with them, bringing veteran leadership and left-handed power in their lineup. Well, he's announced his retirement, and it's going to be done with the sport that has done so much for him, as he has given so much to the sport of baseball as well.
I have nothing but respect for Anthony Rizzo. I truly do. And I will also mention this, that just like every member of the 85 Bears, every member of the 2016 Chicago Cubs will be loved forever by that city, especially by that city, regardless if you're a White Sox fan or not. Because that team was special. That team brought it all the way to Game 7. They'll even like Aroldis Chapman, okay? And Aroldis Chapman is by far one of my least liked Yankees. I will tell you that Anthony Rizzo's career, phenomenal. When he got over to the Yankees, it was not he was good. He was very good for the Yankees. It wasn't his fault that they did not go further in the postseason with him, because that was mainly on Aaron Boone and the Yankees training staff. I want to bring up 2023.
Go ahead.
Because the Yankees training staff kept saying he did not have a concussion, kept giving him tests, and he was suffering from post-concussion syndrome and blurred vision for the majority of 2023, yet the Yankees kept telling him he was fine until he took himself out. Now, nothing has changed with the New York Yankees training staff. Nothing has changed with the philosophy of the New York Yankees, and it's shortened Anthony Rizzo's career. In fact, I'm also a little upset regarding Anthony Rizzo because, yes, re-signing him was a good option, but there were much better options such as Freddie Freeman and Matt Olson that they could have gotten, but Brian Cashman knew better than every single one of us and re-signed Anthony Rizzo. I'm glad Anthony Rizzo went back to the Cubs, to a team that loved him, and not a team that used him and abused him like the Yankees. For the time that you were on the Yankees, Anthony, thank you very much. You brought some stability and a much-needed left-handed bat in 2021, because that fucking roster had nothing but right-handed bats, and he even had to sacrifice Joey fucking Gallo for all the left-handed bats, because Cashman can't bring anything. And like I said, Aaron Boone did not know how to use you. You were a class act, a group of morons. So thank you for your career, and I hope Chicago loves you more than we did.
No doubt. Now that's a good that's a good wrap up, Coach. I could not have wrapped that up any more any better than you did. Well done. The I am not that much of a follower or a fan of baseball. I do know who Anthony Rizzo is, because I was at some type of leadership seminar, and they were talking about team first guys and people that aren't necessarily the loudest ones, but when they walk in the room, they have like they command the respect of their peers because of how they do things. And Anthony Rizzo was one of the examples, so it got me to like read into him and kind of see what he's all about. And you can't find a team or a club or anybody that has anything negative to say about this guy whatsoever. So,
Absolutely.
congrats on your retirement. Him and his wife has a foundation that they
Breaking
have.
news. Breaking news. Breaking
Coach,
news.
you have the floor.
It has just been reported that within the first week of the sales, Angel Reese's new Reebok shoes reportedly sold under 250 pairs.
No, that can't be true. That can't be true. Let me see.
And apparently, Reebok has lost $15 million just on the shoes alone. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, why would outsell any Angel Reese shoe? Okay,
That's
I'm
wild.
just saying that. That's terrible. I mean, but who's gonna buy Angel Reese's shoe unless you're some type of foot fetish pervert? Nobody's gonna be buying those damn things. Why? So you can walk around like a baby giraffe, shoot a ball, miss it, and then go bang. Get your rebounds? No. Oh, hey,
no, to Coach.
By the way, for that guy who said, "Hey, good luck with no viewers tonight," we've got over 5,000 already, motherfucker.
Hey, boom, pew, 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 pew. I don't know. I don't think your source is correct because from what I see, her shoe's not released.
It's also on World Star Hip Hop.
Yeah, see her shoe, but her shoe isn't released until September the 18th. So
okay.
I'm not sure how credible that source is when the shoe hasn't dropped yet.
Hey, look, I will say that. Okay, let me give you something about sneakers because I mean, wait, hold on. It is Coach's Kicks, you know, the thing off the ground. Those sneakers are backdoored. Sneakers usually come out. They're usually done production about 3 months before, or 3 to 4 months before the sell date. Now, retailers, hype beasts, I fucking hate them, and other friends and family will get those production lines. You will also get people, they will sell certain amounts at like boutique stores, but they will also sell them to people so that they could do reviews on them. There's several guys that you can actually look online that they do they do sneaker reviews and different things with that. And women as well. So to have on a general release, to have about 1,000 pair go out before, that's pretty normal. I've and especially with the different sizes, about 100 per size from however 12s to 6 you get whatever. It is pretty normal to see that because that's got to make the rounds and make the tests. But to see that nobody's gonna buy them. Okay, who is going to buy Angel Reese's shoe? Did you even know that Caitlin Clark actually has a shoe with Nike?
No, I
Or
didn't.
Sabrina Ionescu has her own signature shoe, or Aja Wilson has her own signature Jordan brand shoes.
Nope, I didn't. But I'm also not
That's
the market for it.
yeah, exactly. Nobody is going to be in the market for an Angel Reese Reebok sneaker. Okay. I mean, look, when's the last time decent sneaker? What was it? The Answers? The Allen Iversons?
Yeah.
I mean, I can go all the way back to the pumps. The pumps kicked ass. I even had the Dennis Rodman pumps. Okay. That's how long ago I go back. But Reebok Reebok don't have that same cred anymore. Okay. Reebok has been known as cheap Chinese shoes for quite a while. I mean, even Stephon Marbury didn't want to sign with Reebok, and he made his own $14.97 shoe. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Look, Angel Reese ain't the answer. Angel Reese will never be the answer.
It's going to be a small market size. I do have a business degree. I'm an MBA graduate. If I was on the marketing team or on the Reebok team that was trying to push this product line out. I'm looking at the price now. I've got it displayed up on the screen here. They're selling for $120. All right. I'm looking at the colors, and there's 3 styles apparently. And I don't see anything about this. To have the ladies come up off their money for her shoe, I don't see it moving enough for it to be considered a success. But that's just me.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be any success whatsoever. It's just going to be unfortunately sad.
Right.
Unfortunately sad. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. You know what? I did actually want to bring something up about Reebok now that you brought that up. Do you know who's actually one of the backers now of Reebok?
Shaq.
Yeah. Yeah, that's possibly a reason why they're trying to push it, but let's be honest here. Shaq, is there a business that Shaq? I think basically like, I need some toothpaste. I'm gonna go buy some Colgate, and then he goes and buys like 10% of Colgate. I needed car insurance, so I became part of the general, and now I'm gonna go ahead and get my car insurance for free. Shaq buys into companies so he can get free shit. you know, I need size 22s. Nobody's going to get me a pair of size 22s. I'm just going to buy Reebok. That's how he does it, man. Shaq knows how to go ahead and get all of his stuff that he needs. He's not going to go to the store anymore. He's just going to buy the company and every single thing that he needs in his life. He's just either going to be a sponsor for it or he's going to buy part of the company.
Man, we did have somebody.
Hey, by the way, have you ever had those Shaq gummies?
No, but I would.
Man, I got to try those. I've seen them too many places, man. I really want to try them.
Let's see. There's somebody in the chat that said Jerry Jeudy's officially a Kansas City Chief. I do not see that. I am up on X right now, which if things break, chances are it does break on X. And the only thing that I see was a press conference in which Jerry Jeudy was asked about the Baltimore Ravens secondary and if it was going to be a challenge. And he literally came back and said, I don't see no challenge. But I don't see anything about a trade reported anywhere. So if you do have the scoop on that, that literally would be breaking because I ain't seeing it.
I ain't seen it either. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to close out the show with baseball. Now, what ended up going viral was this lady here. And look, y'all, if you have this look, you are going to automatically be called Karen, even if your name isn't Karen. This is the quintessential Karen haircut, the Karen look, and everything about this lady screams that her name is Karen. Now, there was an incident that went viral at a baseball game in which we're going to show the footage, but the dad right there in that red shirt had went and I'm going to say fought for a ball. And Coach, you've been to more baseball games than me. You likely know the etiquette, so I'm going to get you to, bring in your take on this. But She made a claim that the guy in the red shirt right there took the ball out of her hands, and she walked from where she was sitting at and approached him, confronted him, and this guy eventually gave up and took the ball from his kid's glove and then put it in her hand so that she could get out of his face. Now, I'm going to play this video, and I want the viewers out there to tell me if y'all would have done the same thing that this dad did or if y'all would have done something different in the moment. Take a look.
Sometimes you need that reset. Oh.
And Bader just unloads on this one. Deep left field, and that one is gone as Bader goes back-to-back with Brandon. What a long home run to left for Harris.
I got to pause right there. His reaction when she initially pulled up, the way he kind of did like this, I didn't understand that. Now, I get being startled. I'm going to raise my hand and say, I'm jumpy. I am a jumpy guy. If you do something that startles me, I do jump, but I have a reaction to it. There's there's a veteran out there who found this out the hard way. When we were in Vegas, he came up behind me and startled me, and I turned around and punched him dead in his gut. I didn't know I didn't know in the moment who he was. All I know is I perceived a threat. I took care of the threat, dropped him on the ground. I felt horrible about it immediately. But I tell anybody that knows me personally, you can't do that to me, because I punch first and then ask questions after the fact. So I'm going to go back a bit, as his reaction kind of made me go, dude, who are you?
Long home run to left for
But he's hugging his kid, and she comes up to
Bader.
him.
It's his 15th
Right
of
here.
the year and his third since joining the Phillies.
So right there, she made the claim that he took it out of her hands. And I'm going to go back there. Right here, what the screen's showing right now, she's making a claim that she had the ball in her hands and he took it from her hands. Now, I'm going to talk about the etiquette of it, here in a second, because I'm curious about, like, is it unethical? I don't know if that's the right word, or part of the culture where if it's in your section, you're able to fight for it, or do you not go for it if it doesn't go to you?
And his third since joining the Phillies. It's 5-1.
It is perfect etiquette to go after a fucking who in the let's roll this.
So she's confronting him. She got in his face. The part that I didn't like was that she put her hands on him. And let me mute this as I talk about it. So as she approaches him, she puts her hand on him, right? He's embracing his son. He's got the home run baseball. She puts his hand on him to get his attention and then continues to touch him still. You don't go up to somebody like that. And I'm just, man, on the one hand, oh man, violence is not the answer, but man, sometimes I see stuff like this and I'm like, why did she think she was entitled to put her hands on this guy like that? So they're going through the incident. He's making the claim that I did nothing wrong, but see how she's still like leaning into him and in his face? At that point, I'm going to tell you, back up and give me some distance. You can certainly make your case, but you are not going to get in my face like that. And then he's like, you know what? Bye. And then there's audio of her saying bye after she gets it, and then she walks back. So let's stop there for now because there's other parts to this story. You talked about the etiquette. So it is appropriate. Like if it's in your section, it don't have to necessarily be coming directly to you, but it is appropriate etiquette and okay to be able to go and fight for a ball.
Absolutely fine.
Okay.
Absolutely fine, especially if you're giving it to a kid. Okay? Look, Bill Burr actually had a little bit of a bit about this, about, hey, why do we have to go give it to the kid? Let the kid just, have the ball, no, let the kid fight for the ball. That's what's wrong with it. That's a bit. You let the kid have the ball. Okay?
I like that.
You always let the kid have the ball.
See,
it's been the etiquette for years. It's been the etiquette since I was a kid. It was the etiquette when my father went to Yankee Stadium with his dad. It's always been the etiquette. You don't need a ball. That you as an adult don't need it.
Unless it's, if it's one of them 50th home run balls.
Okay, yeah, if it's one of those
milestone ball.
If it's one of those milestones, it's a free-for-all. But, man, if it's just a regular home run, if it's a regular foul ball, if the player throws it into the stands, you give it to the kid. The kid will have it's always been that way because the kid has the lifetime memory of that ball, regardless of where he goes in his life. Let me give you a perfect example. My son Dustin, the last game that we went to at Yankee Stadium was in 2003. Okay. That's the last time I've been to Yankee Stadium, and that was at the old Yankee Stadium. Raul Mondesi threw a ball into the right field stands. We were in the front row. I went up to go look for the ball. A guy who was in the row right behind me caught it, and I said, "Hey, it's for the kid. It's for the kid." He gave Dustin the ball. Dustin thanked Raul Mondesi and still remembers that Raul Mondesi threw the ball up there to him, and he got it during the game.
Nice.
Okay?
Nice.
That's the lifetime memory that you do. There's no other sport that you can do that with. Hockey used to be able to, the puck would go up into the stands and, you'd be able to catch it. Now they got nets up there because some kid died in 99, after getting hit with a fucking slap shot. All right. And, people have gotten injured with a bat and a ball or something. But that is always the fun part. In fact, let me be honest. The Savannah Bananas, you know what they do with foul balls? They're still in play. If the fan catches the foul ball, the player's out. But still,
cool.
The foul ball, the ball into the stands, the ball to your seats, it's always for the kids to make that memory. It's not for some fucking two-toned, glasses-wearing cunt bag from fucking Philadelphia who can take a goddamn cheesesteak and shove it up a fucking snatch because she wants the fucking ball. Fuck her!
Now,
I told you I was in a rare mood today.
That family should be thankful for the attention that this got because it was on the Jumbotron.
Holy shit. I'm sorry, but all my curses came up on all the stars on there, and that was actually rather funny to see.
That's hilarious.
Bag.
That is hilarious. Shout out to Tazo's in the building, said hi. What up? We got David Cunningham in the building as well. David, man, get ready for your ending, brother, because we are going to be closing the show here shortly. So let's finish playing the clip because all's well that ends well. So while the kid didn't get the baseball, many people would argue that he got the best end of the deal because of the coverage that came with it. So let's play some more of the video. So, part 2 of that, one of the organizations came up and they got him a goodie bag, but that was not it. He ended by getting a signed bat from one of the Phillies players, a photo opportunity, and everything as well. And that family also made a press run to kind of wrap things up. So it ended up being good overall, but there was some division about a couple of different things. The father's reaction when the Karen came up to him. That right there, I don't think I would ever look at my dad the same if my dad reacted like, let me see if I can get it here. Like this, right here. I don't think I would, I couldn't get this memory out my head if I saw my dad react that way. Couldn't do it. Like that right there, where you didn't do this, but then that would be a memory that I couldn't get out my head. It'd also be one of those memories that my pops didn't fight for me. I don't know. Like, my dad didn't fight for me. He let some two-tone haired individual come in and take it out of my hand and gave it to her. Like, it'd be one of those things, man, that as I got older and, at his age now, he's not going to understand it. But then, is that a lesson that he's going to give or be able to do for his kids, if he has kids, when he gets older? Is he going to fight for his kid if he's put in the same position? Well, I saw my dad back down, so you know what? I might back down. and just like look, right? He's listening to everything. He's listening to what she's saying. He's looking at his dad. You know, he kind of positions the glove there for a second and then moves it away. And then the dad goes into the glove, grabs it, and then hands it to her. I know, and I'll be able to stand 10 toes down on this. I wouldn't have done those actions. Now, again, it worked out in the end, but I think it only worked out if the Jumbotron didn't capture any of that as it was happening. Maybe after the fact, the organization might have tried to find them and reach out and do something, but it wouldn't have occurred in that moment. So they're just fortunate enough that the stadium cameras themselves caught it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I definitely, hats off to Harrison Bader. Harrison Bader was the player that came up and got this guy the signed bat, former New York Yankee and Bronx boy Harrison Bader too, might I add. But you know what? It would not have happened with me. That definitely wouldn't have happened with me because, in the odd instance that I did actually, go to a game and catch that, most likely my wife would be at that baseball game because one of the things that she does actually like to go to is baseball. And if some two fucking colored woman, came up to me and started putting her hands on me like that, I'm pretty sure my wife would have yanked that fucking rug off of her fucking head and started bashing her fucking skull into the fucking, the fucking chair in front of it. Again, you entitled bitch. You didn't fucking deserve the ball. The only balls that you deserve are the ones that your husband is banging the waitress, banging her fucking secretary with. I hope your husband is cheating on you right now with an escort.
God dang. And also, Coach,
that's how much I don't like this woman. And I told you, I'm in a rare fucking mood today.
Man, nobody, not one single soul has came out to defend her. Nobody has came out and said, I was right there. She did have it in her hands and he physically took it out. Not a single soul is saying that, which leads me to believe she was wrong.
I mean,
like, take the kid angle out of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that if he did actually like get it out of her hand, like she had it, was coming up with it, and he goes, he'd be 100% wrong. And I don't and nobody can tell me otherwise.
Yeah.
But if she didn't have control of it and they're fighting for it and then he comes up with it, hey.
Can I wrap it up with this? I think Chappelle's show put it best. Does Wayne Brady have to choke a bitch?
Yep. Oh, man. Let's see. Pop Culture Warrior said, Coach is feisty tonight. Love it.
Fuck yeah.
David Cunningham said, this was a Coldplay concert moment. Absolutely. Man, 100%. Hey, look, cameras capture everything, y'all. If you walk away with nothing that we talked about here, sports related or anything, walk away with this one. Don't drink and drive, and cameras capture everything. So if you think you're not being recorded, just guess again. There were so many angles that came out from that, like people that were sitting right there that had the wherewithal to go, let me start recording. And man, I'm loving it. Let's see, David Cunningham said, no, the King in me said that the reaction seemed extra. It was like the whole that was, I don't know. Like if I ever reacted, there was an MMA fighter, either girlfriend or ex-wife, that talked about when she saw her man get knocked out, and it wasn't the fact that he got knocked out, but it was this that he did as he was going to the ground that made her. I'm gonna paraphrase, not get the drippings down there for him after that.
Oh dear God.
So and it was on the Joe Rogan, like if you follow sports and Joe Rogan, that was a clip that came out for that, and she talked about how she lost feelings for him, not seeing him get knocked out, but it was this as he was getting knocked out. She goes like, you got to get knocked out and go F you, like not just get knocked out and you doing like this. Oh man, David Cunningham brought up something too. Let me see if I could fix the comment here. That was just as bad as the millionaire that took the hat that was meant for the kid at the U.S.
Oh,
Open.
that fuck yeah, and then acted like this is the way the kids do it.
Yep.
Yeah, stupid Pollock.
Yep. No.
Sorry, I might get cursed out for that. I just said, does Wayne Brady have to choke a bitch talking about that two-tone cunt? And I'm probably gonna get in trouble for calling that guy a dumb Pollock.
Is that, you know what? I'll ask you off air because I'm not familiar with that word. I've heard it. I don't.
He's Polish.
Oh, is that a slur for Polish people? I don't know.
Yeah, Pollocks. That's what they're called.
Never heard of it.
That's what Polish people are called. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. But yes, I did see that video, and if I had a little bit more time for prep today, I was going to put that side by side and talk about it. But so I'm glad that David brought it up. David, we are wrapping up the show here today, and it has been a while since you have given us some post-show words of encouragement. So while we wrap things up here, Coach, great episode today. First one, no, this is episode 3 since we've been back.
Yeah, this is the third one because we did one good. We did one good. The one regular episode. Then we did 2 episodes before we went to the draft.
And then we had our draft.
Episode 4.
Episode 4.
Technically episode 3 because we did the draft last week. So.
Yep, we are going to be expanding the programming. I want to have some additional glitz and glamour and some things like that. So be on the lookout for that. Now, David Cunningham did get our words here, so we are going to close out with his words before we turn off the sports bar sign.
King, can I give you that one thing that I really wanted to blow you away on the stat wise?
I forgot about that. You have the floor.
All right. It's all right. So, hey, David, I'm not trying to steal thunder away from you, okay, buddy? But I actually looked at something right now, and this is regarding your favorite running back, Mr. Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Derrick Henry, as his career, has 11,592 yards and has scored 108 rushing touchdowns. Okay. Receptions and other yards out there. I will let you know, and this is a fucking phenomenal stat, that Derrick Henry is still 700 yards short of how many yards he rushed in high school. Derrick Henry, in 48 games in Florida from his freshman year to his senior year, ran for 12,124 yards. He also rushed for 153 touchdowns.
That's crazy.
Over his 4-year high school career. If you can believe this, okay, Derrick Henry has been slowed down by the NFL.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry and I'm bringing that up because when you look at his rushing yards, he rushed for, he only played 3 years over in Alabama. His freshman year, he only rushed for 382. His sophomore year, he nearly rushed for 1,000, but rushed for 990 yards. And then his senior year or his junior year, he rushed for 2,219 yards. The NFL has slowed Derrick Henry down, but 12,124 yards in high school, and he still hasn't beaten that record. That is fucking impressive. That is impressive. Man, I really do hope that, Lamar Jackson pulls it together. I really do hope that one of the Harbaughs pull their head out of their ass, whichever one that is. Is that John or Jim that's there?
John.
Whichever Harbaugh it is, pull your head out of your ass and get Baltimore to the Super Bowl. Derrick Henry deserves to be in the Super Bowl. He is one of the greatest running backs, and he deserves the big stage.
I agree. David Cunningham said what I said earlier. The fans are only going to remember that fumble last week against the Bills that contributed to their loss. That to me, you can't tell me otherwise. When it happened, my mouth dropped, and I'm just like, you have got to be kidding me. But we do have David's words here, and we are going to sign off. Don't forget to come back and check out The Smoke Pit tonight with Radar at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone. David Cunningham's words to close us out are as follows. Thanks for tuning into WTF Sports Bar. Great show today, King and Coach. Sports fans, we need to embrace the things we have in common to make this a better world. It is up to us to love thy neighbor. Have a great evening. Man, we've missed that here, David. So glad that you were able to come in, close us out on some positive words. Coach, raise your left hand up in the air. Snap your finger. And we're going to turn off the sports bar light.
Let's do it.
And with that, the sports bar light is off. Y'all have a good night. Tune back into WTF Nation Radio for the Smoke Pit here in about an hour.